Hey everyone, this is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is
Season 7 of Pero Let Me Tell You. I don't think is very matching to you.
What?
You know, the Caribbean.
Oh my gosh, get me on the 7 Seas.
Right.
And I'm listening to calypso music. And you know that it's funny because you wouldn't think, knowing me, that I like as many Bob Marley songs as I do. But I do.
Yeah, it's so not.
I have like a bunch of Bob Marley songs in my playlist. Well, I mean, maybe it is or it isn't, right? Because I do like, you know, hip hop, R&B, and all that.
Yeah,
so I guess
but
that's sort of adjacent.
Sure.
It's not country music, right?
Fair enough.
No disrespect to country
But
music
it's not your
fans
jam.
out there. It's not my jam. But I mean, I used to, for like 2 years, I used to wake up Tristan with, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Oh, wait, we got to start. Welcome, everyone, to episode 301.
Woo! Made it over the
301. 301. Pero let me tell you, we are officially in the 300s.
Yes, and it's going to take another 17 years to get to 400.
And well, I mean, listen, after our 300th episode with Hot Ones, I mean...
Yeah. That was a fun app.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
For those of you who listened to the episode,
we also go watch it.
We also invite you to watch it on YouTube. I know we're not a video podcast, but this episode was special. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, because if you liked the audio, the video really shows how the agony went. But you did very well.
Yeah, I did better than I thought I was going to.
You did. And it's funny because going into this, I thought you were going to be the weakest link. And it was Darwin. When I was editing...
We love you, Darwin.
When I was editing the video for our YouTube channel... I mean, obviously, I was editing, so I saw it like 100 times. I'm like, man, Darwin suffered. Like,
it was great.
Darwin must really love us. Come and say, we're his dogs. You know, if he went through that.
There was a couple, like, I'm pretty sure Darwin became a meme during the filming of that episode. Yeah.
But for those of you who've been curious to do the Hot Ones challenge, you know, which is based on the show, it really, the bomb, as you probably heard or saw in the episode last week, it really is that bad. And it's a miserable experience. I don't know if I would ever do it again. Maybe because I've already done it when I do it again, if I ever would, which I doubt I would. I know what to expect. I know, okay, this is going to be 10 minutes of my life that are just going to be awful. But yeah, it's
but why would you do it again? It's just
why did we do it to begin with?
Okay, well, we did it to begin with to do something stupid.
Okay, for our 1,000 episode.
Yeah, but there's no reason for that sauce to exist.
There isn't.
It doesn't taste good.
That sauce exists for shits and giggles, for pa comer mierda, to joder, to do pranks, to do stuff, because it just doesn't taste good.
It has no flavor.
It doesn't taste good.
No, at all.
So, you know, thank you to everybody who attended the recording of the episode. Thank you to Martha of Miami for letting us do this on the sala. Again, thank you for Darwin for interviewing with us and doing this crazy idea with us.
Florida Dairy Farmers for
sponsoring the episode.
Yes.
And thank you to all you guys who, you know, you've stuck around for our Pero Primos for 300 episodes.
It's crazy.
For 7 some year. Wait, hold on.
We're in our 7th season. So
6 some years. So thank you to everybody for taking this crazy ride
and
with us.
Staying on the ride.
And staying on the ride. Yeah, la montaña rusa. You know what I was thinking just now before we started? That I think I was singing something. You know how a lot of people may say now that the world is not, you know, it's like an angry place and people are just pissed off all the time. Yeah. I think one of the many reasons is that, you know, we don't have jingles anymore.
Or theme songs.
Yeah. I mean, why do you want to take that piece of happiness away?
People were happier when, you know, there was a time for love and a time for living.
But everything, it's funny because when you look at like on YouTube or whatever, you look at commercials from like the 80s and the 90s, everything had a jingle.
The closest we got recently is Burger King.
BK, have it your way. You rule.
Right. Other than that, I mean, McDonald's still has I'm loving it.
But not really.
But it's not a jingle. It's not a jingle. And like the double your flavor, double your fun, right.
With extra sugar-free gum.
Right.
Extra flavor goes an extra long time. Extra flavor goes an extra long way. When you're chewing extra, when you're chewing extra, that extra feeling goes an extra long time.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you're sure. The deodorant.
Yes. And that was how many years ago, and we're still remembering
And then there's some local favorites. Pollo tropical.
Oh yeah.
Pollo tropical.
Oh yeah.
Chicken on the grill. And then there was, which I was singing it a little while ago. It's about value. It's about time for rooms to go.
Well, wait. The supermarket one.
Oye, te lo digo yo que Fubalio Supermarket te trata mejor.
Yeah.
But that's like a local, old school
Well,
local.
we're talking local.
Yeah. But everything used to have a jingle. Remember Toyotas?
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
And then they had, who could ask for anything more? Toyota. What's Toyota's jingle now?
They don't have one. They know you could ask for more.
Stanley Steamer. We're tough on dirt,
gentle on carpet. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Yeah,
there's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From
toys to planes to video games. It's the greatest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up, because baby, if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Right. Where's that nowadays? You know what, Amazon? Where's your jingle?
Amazon is making too much money to even care about a jingle.
Shit. They're like, you know what? We're offering you toilet paper for a penny.
I love local. You feel like you bought from the factory. Headquarter Toyota.
And the one with a beta.
Al ladito de International Mall.
So we're keeping it alive somehow, if not just locally.
Remember, I mean, this is taking it back. Cooking Good Chicken.
Oh my god, me and my sister used to love that
cooking
one.
Good.
The taste of
the little yellow bird. Cooking good. Wait, what else? Oh wow,
cooking
one
good.
of my personal favorites from the 90s was, the product doesn't exist anymore, but it would have been viral if it would have been around now. I feel like chicken tonight.
Yes,
like chicken tonight. Like chicken tonight. And then
wait, what was chicken tonight?
So chicken tonight were simmering sauces.
And
I even remember the flavors. It was chicken cacciatore, French chicken,
again with the national
and
thing.
like marinara. Yeah, it was simmering sauces.
What is a simmering sauce?
No,
I'm genuinely asking, as opposed to like a regular sauce.
Well, no, because
it's thinner.
No, because a simmering sauce, you would get like a piece of chicken, like a breast or something. Mm-hmm. You would sear it on the skillet, mm-hmm. and then you it wasn't cooked yet completely. Right. So then you'd put in the chicken tonight and put back the chicken in, and then you would let it simmer in the sauce.
Oh, okay.
And then when the chicken was cooked, you would serve the chicken with the
sauce.
With the sauce.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a thing
I used
anymore.
to like chicken cacciatore.
That's just fun to say.
Chicken cacciatore.
Cacciatore. It's almost like Shaka Khan.
Wait, what was? Coca-Cola in the early 90s was
it's killing me. I'm actually thinking of Diet Coke. So
it was a circle. It was a circle, and it would change in different colors.
Yes. No, but now I've shifted completely, and I'm thinking of Diet Coke now with like Ray Charles and Paula Abdul.
No, because I'm talking about the Coca-Cola, like the main Coca-Cola. I can't remember.
We're not going to remember right now because we got too many jingles in our head.
I have so many jingles in my head. Do you remember what the delicious dilemma was? No. Viennetta.
We've talked about Viennetta before. I'm so glad it exists again in the world.
It does. It's so fun. I mean, it really is true. It became a meme how people thought that Viennetta was like a really fancy
It was
dessert.
fancy dessert. Eso para la visita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you know that recently? When I mean recently, I mean maybe in the last 2 years, I saw it at Publix because they don't always have it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I'm getting this freaking Viennetta and I'm eating it by myself. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I didn't realize how tiny it was.
Nabisco.
Ding.
Listeners, what are some of your favorite jingles? I mean, there's
There's a
just so
lot.
many of them.
There's so many. There's a lot of them out there, I think.
And I mean, I think the world needs jingles again.
we do. What the world needs now isn't Love, Sweet Love. It's jingles.
It's jingles.
It's jingles.
I think jingles make people happy.
Yeah, you can't be upset if you're singing these things.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to be like, I feel like chicken tonight. Like,
Yeah.
chicken tonight.
I'm going to raise my hand if I'm sure.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
I remember being a kid when the Secret commercials used to come for the deodorant. Secret, strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman.
Yes.
And I'll be like, what's challenged for a woman? Balanced for a woman.
They're like, what's balanced?
Do you know that growing up in my house, we all use Secret?
Well, that's what I use now.
Yeah. It's like, free, screw the pH balance.
Listen, if it's pH balance for a woman, I'm sure it can handle my grajo.
Yeah, and you know what? Secret a lot of times is BOGO.
All the time at CVS.
It's BOGO,
Yeah.
so you got to get those BOGO deals.
Hell yeah. Listen, sign me up. Buy one, get one. Let's have at it.
Wait. Zest had one. Zestfully clean.
You're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean.
That was a good one.
Yes.
Oh my God, there's just so many of them.
We should do a spin-off podcast of just jingles and
Beep on Boyo should
do
have
one.
a jingle.
What would be our jingle?
I don't know, but we're not going to come out on air because it's just going to be a lot of like.
It's going to be a lot of brainstorming, and that's it's going to be a lot of wheel spinning.
It could be. We could use a sample. Bing, 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 bam, pollo. Instead of go Bayside.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But I you know what? A for effort. There's no bad ideas in a brainstorming session.
So again, listeners, what were some of your favorite jingles growing up?
I can't wait to hear what they are. Actually, we definitely should post this on
Yeah.
on
What were some of
Instagram.
your favorite jingles?
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, that and Sizzler needs to come back.
And look, the world will be better.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what? Oh, speaking of world being better, you know how we always talk about things and then
happen.
some variation of it happens. So I think I told you this a couple of days ago, but I just wanted to let you know that you, I think, have willed into existence the beginning of Flowers for Marla Gibbs.
Right? We talked about this?
Yes, we did. And a couple weeks ago on RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, one of the drag queens, one of the challenges was like they have to do a celebrity impersonation, and they impersonated Marla Gibbs.
Which version of Marla Gibbs?
It was just like it was quote unquote just like Marla Gibbs, like
Mary?
kind of, right? Just, the Marla Gibbs essence of
Right.
it all. But I was like, man, we just talked about Marla Gibbs, and now
We're on the
onto
pulse of
something.
it. We're
onto
pulse of it.
something. So
Yeah, Marla Gibbs needs her flowers.
she does. She does need her flowers. And I think
Somebody needs to get her flowers. Let's not do what the song says and buy herself flowers. No, we need to buy the
yes.
flowers from Marla Gibbs.
she deserves us to buy her flowers.
Yeah, Jack A alone can send her flowers.
And Regina King.
Regina King.
Yes. And I think they have probably.
Yeah, Regina King has better money than Jack A. I mean,
Well, listen, Jack A's making that Days of Our Lives money.
yeah, but I mean, Regina. I mean, listen, money is money.
I'm sure they can each afford un ramo de flores.
Yeah, un ramo de flores. Were there some flower jingles? What's that flower company? FTP.
FTD.
FTD. Es un robo.
Why is it un ramo?
I'm going to tell you why.
It's a delivery.
When you order from a local flower shop,
Right.
I mean, I've ordered from many flower shops throughout the years, like a local flower shop.
Right.
They deliver, and they'll send you a huge bouquet of flowers.
Right.
Right. When you order from FDP,
FTD.
FDT, this is the Florida Department of Transportation.
Yes, it is.
FDT. Es un bugarito así. It's like, 8 inches tall. And then on the picture, of course, it looks mammoth size.
And it's not.
And then they bring it, it's like, oh, that would be $90. And
For the pleasure of sending it, apparently.
I'll never forget one time that for like Boss Appreciation Week, this is back when I was in college, I worked at ADP. There was like the floor supervisor was like, oh my God, we got to get our boss like like flowers, and we're like, all right, just order them from Trias or wherever. And he's like, no, I want something like streamlined. I remember he used the word streamlined.
What are streamlined flowers?
I don't know. He was one of these people in middle management that took his job very seriously. And I remember that, he went to like the TD website, and we had to pick, like, vote for which bouquet of flowers to get her. And it was super expensive, and then everybody had to chip in. And literally, when the flowers got there, I don't know, they were like un ramito de flores. I'm like, dude, you just ordered from like the local. Like,
call it
literally, this was on Sunset Drive. Sunset Florist.
Trias was like right there.
No, Sunset Florist, which locally, which Sunset Florist is on Sunset Drive and 107th.
Yeah,
that's been there for about like
8,000 years.
Yeah. So I mean, this was literally down the street, pero whatever. Se querían tirar el peo más alto que what. So, what do you have going on this week?
So actually, I wanted to say a little story that happened to me at Fresco y Más.
Oh. What are your stories?
I was there buying for our pop-up this weekend. We're doing 2 days at Shoujo back to back. And so I'm standing in the one line, because apparently now, I didn't go to the Fresco here by your house. I went to the one on Coral Way. Mm-hmm. But apparently the trend now is we're just going to have one register open, period. Right?
Oh, yeah. Fresco's the worst for that.
So there was one that was open, which is the line that I got in. And then next to me, there was a girl who she had very clearly like just turned off her light thing. And there was a chain, right? So she was done.
Yeah, she was done. It was closed.
So this other lady comes by and she's like, she wasn't old actually. She was maybe younger than us. And she's like, Niña, tú estás abierta. And the girl's like, no, estoy cerrado. I'm like, okay, the light is off and there's a fucking chain. Like, no. So whatever. But then apparently the other line to the left of me had just opened up. And there was a guy there who he was there with like some little toy dog, like some little miniature dog. And he like bum rushed in as she was going to turn in.
Mm-hmm. He shouldn't have done that.
Well, but I mean, he was there in front and he had like 3 items también. And she had like a carrito. She has started like, she's like, señor, no es que importa, pero eso fue muy mal educado de que tú te muevas delante de mí. And I'm like, okay, so if it didn't matter, then why are you not only saying it, but you're saying it al altavoz? And it became a whole thing. And he's like, bueno, pero yo... She's like, no, pero eso no se hace así. Hay forma de más educada de hacerlo. And he's like, ¿tú sabes qué? Pase, adelante. And the whole time that she was there ringing it up, she's like, no, porque es que aquí la gente no sabe. And it's like... Apparently, it bothered you more than it should have, right? Because nobody. Here's a rule of thumb: if you walk into a line and you say "not that it matters," and then you continue, it matters to you. That's just a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
But I've always loved that. I've always loved people who make like this big stink about things, but at the same time are trying to be like passive aggressive about it. Where it's like, I can't believe you did it. I mean, it's okay. But pero a toda altavoz.
But everybody, I can't believe he did it, but I'm okay
with
it.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I just want everybody to look at him, but I can't. I'm like, you know what? This is such a like Miami bullshit.
Whenever I have to go to Fresco y Más, and yes, we're calling out Fresco y Más, at least down here in Miami. It's a supermarket chain.
Yeah, it's used to be Winn-Dixie's.
They'll have 1, maybe 2 cash registers open, and sometimes when we go buy Pimpan Pollo stuff, we go later. But there's been times that I've gone Sunday at like noon.
Yeah, because there's no other alternative.
There's 1 cash register open. Maybe if you get lucky, 2. So then there's a line that reaches, the freaking bakery on the other side of the store. Aparata y en línea. And then Fresco y Más yields to an older Latin demographic. Yeah. So you could just imagine.
There's no rush.
And then, a lot of them are paying with their EBT, but then not everything is covered by the EBT. Ay, pero la leche condensada no es cubierta por los food stamp. No, señora. Ay, no, porque... Ay, pero la leche evaporada también. No, nada más, señora, la leche fresca, que no está en lata. Ay, no, pero eso no es... And it's like, oh my God, I just want to buy, like, my, cream cheese and go.
Right. I have literally 2 items.
Oh.
It's just so, like, trying sometimes.
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck.
It is. It really is.
And, whatever. Anyway. So I actually wanted to bring something up that I've sort of mentioned here on the podcast before. And this past week, I you know that I generally, on my personal social medias, I don't really engage much with people, and I certainly don't. I don't say things to argue. I run from conflict. But this week, I started commenting on certain comments that people were making, and this is about Jennifer Lopez.
Yes, so we've talked about this before.
The Jennifer Lopez chat has entered the room. So
straight from the bodega.
Yeah. So Jennifer Lopez has been getting a huge amount of hate online. I mean, huge. I think that the last time I saw a celebrity being all around attacked, like to the magnitude that Jennifer Lopez is being attacked online, is because of, the Britney era, like when Britney was like really being attacked. Everything and anything that she does now is being criticized. It's being like analyzed. It's being hyped up in a negative way. Anything and everything, what she does or doesn't do.
Oh, right. More importantly.
And, I can't believe we're here again where we have this whole thing on how we just get it with a celebrity. And the day that the internet decides to turn on a celebrity, good luck. Jennifer Lopez hasn't done anything like in the last few months in terms of releasing her album. She hasn't done anything controversial. She released an album. She released a documentary about it. And, the album didn't do well. Like many people's albums sometimes flop or don't do well. But this has been something like the bullying that Jennifer Lopez is receiving online now for absolutely no reason. It is really worrisome. And it's just so discouraging to see how people can just attack someone else just because. There's things which the reason I wanted to bring this up is not only because of her, but the way the internet and social media now behaves. They will take footage from you from years ago and then turn it into something. That whole thing that went viral recently of her bodega order, that she had like a ham and cheese roll with the orange drink, if you know, you know. Right. That's from a 73 Questions with Vogue that she did like 2 or 3 years ago, that now all of a sudden somebody decided to make a big deal about it, and then the lemmings went and everybody had to comment about everything about the whole bodega thing. And you know what's so annoying about that in terms of the people that made a big deal about it is that every day I see people like, oh my God, Jennifer Lopez and her bodega order. Oh my God, Jennifer Lopez. Oh, nobody orders that in the bodega. All this content that has been created about her freaking bodega order, that says more about you than about her. That you think you're so original and so fresh by making this content about this freaking woman's bodega order, which, mind you, people, there's people who went and like started asking people in the Bronx what the orange drink was. Mind you, Jennifer Lopez probably moved out in the Bronx from the Bronx in the early 90s or late 80s, right? So whatever drink she had then is probably not a drink that especially younger people are having now. Because, in the 80s, we all used to drink Sunny Delight. Who the heck drinks Sunny Delight now?
Right. Or I was going to say, or it might have been she's maybe not going to mention a brand because maybe she has a contract with another brand. Right. So she's not going to say.
For whatever reason. But it's just this constant humiliation of her that it's not funny. And people now want to also relitigate her whole thing about Ashanti's music or Ashanti's vocals and other singers' vocals on her songs. It has been already discussed and said that these were things that her record company did that she necessarily was not privy to. Many producers have gone on the record and have said that Tommy Mottola, at that time, which had a whole beef with Mariah Carey, wanted to sabotage Mariah's career and did a whole bunch of shady things and got a bunch of samples and vocals from not only Mariah, but from a lot of artists and all the producers. Like, they've come up and said that this wasn't really even a happening of Jennifer Lopez. And think about that. Like,
this is what, album 1 and 2?
Yes. Right. Like one of some of the most criticisms that she gets are for her first and second album that it used, for example, Ashanti's vocals, which they did, right? Do you think that Jennifer Lopez in her first or second album had any power to be calling the shots as to what the record company was putting on her album? Of course she didn't. right? And people now are saying, oh, because she's stealing people's music. This was litigated like 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago, we were talking about
it was
this.
pre-social media.
And people were coming out and saying that it was her record company. You know, the same thing with like, she's very rude to people, or she tells people not to look at her. It's funny how everybody knows somebody who dealt with Jennifer Lopez, and Jennifer Lopez said not, to talk to someone. And it's like, part of the whole celebrity culture is that whole ridiculous rhetoric that celebrities are demanding and they talk down to people. And you know what? Maybe there's some truth to that, to some celebrities or even her. But to make her the example of like, the be all end all. Yes. It's absolutely terrible that they've now decided to pick on this woman. If you don't like her music, if you don't like her movies, if you just don't care for her, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not the biggest Jennifer Lopez fan either, but I just think that this is bullying at its like peak. It's the same. It gives me the same energy that we had 20 some years ago against Britney Spears, and it's just not cool. It's not funny. And at the end of the day, celebrities are human beings, and this constant bullying and the world turning on you for absolutely no reason or for things that happened 20 years ago, it's not cool, because all of us now, especially with social media, have a past. It's recorded. It's on there. So the same way that they're picking on her today, you know what? Maybe in your personal life, somebody's going to see something that you posted years ago, or an employer or something. So what are you going to do? So it's awful. I think it's awful. And it's really infuriating. I even heard, it's funny because I was mentioning to going back and forth with some guy yesterday on social media that it's like, she uses the Latina card, when it's convenient for her. And I'm like, first of all, Jennifer Lopez is Latina, because Jennifer Lopez, our parents are Puerto Rican, and she was raised in the Bronx. Right. Second of all, she has said that she's Latina since she first came out, and it's been a huge part of her identity. And third of all, and most importantly, if we're going to start revoking people, if we're going to start now saying that people that don't speak Spanish or have bad Spanish are not Latinos, then a lot of you are going to get your Latino license revoked, because a lot of you out there can't speak Spanish or could barely put a sentence together. So if that's the metric you're using to say somebody is Latino, then, you got a surprise coming. So it's just terrible. It's terrible. It really bothers me.
I just wonder, and again, I know I'm the bigger J-Lo fan of the two of us. I mean, I've seen her in concert several times and all of it. I wonder what was the mitigating factor, for lack of a better way of putting it, that made people say, all right, now is the time, right? Because here's the thing. I feel like most times when these backlashes happen, it's either because, like you said, they've said something just totally off the wall, right? And it's like, okay, go attack or whatever. Or it's because somebody has flown too close to the sun, right? Mm-hmm. They're having peak moment, and now, you know what? Like, actually, who's due for it, honestly, is Taylor Swift, right?
For sure.
Because Taylor Swift is like at the top, right? So it's like, you know what? And it's been a year and change. Okay, now we're sick of her, right? So I'm not saying it's right, but I understand that mentality. What I find fascinating about the J-Lo of it all is that it's a kicking her when she's down, because, like you said, the album didn't do well. She had to cancel her tour. That video movie thing, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed, didn't do great. So it almost seems like if they've decided they're going to kick her when she's down.
That video that she did, This Is Me Now, that she did the whole movie concept to every album song.
Yeah, it's a song, yeah.
Can you imagine if Beyonce or Taylor Swift would have done that? Oh, it's high art. It's so innovative, because she basically did a film.
Yeah, no, I saw
based on all 12 or whatever many songs on her album.
It's basically just a video in the form, it's strung together as a movie,
right? Which is very, whether you like it or not, it's very like high concept, right?
And she funded it herself,
right? Because it has like a narrative, so it's not like because Beyonce's done video albums, but it's like a separate video for each song. It's not like a narrative throughout, right? But she did that. If somebody else would have done that, If somebody else would have done the same exact thing, oh my gosh, they're innovative
What an
storytellers. An artist. That is true
Artistry.
artistry. But because it's Jennifer Lopez, oh, this sucks.
Right.
Oh, this is, self-indulgent and narcissistic and all that. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't get it, because you don't usually see this when the person is down. You usually see it when they're at their peak. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that because she has always. There's something about Jennifer Lopez that I love and admire, amongst many other things that I love about her. She has never been shy about having naked ambition. And that is something that does not always sit well with people.
I guess, yeah.
Especially from a woman. Especially from a Latina woman.
Who's now in her 50s.
Right. How dare you continue to just so wantonly show us all that you're not done and you want more? How dare you? Right? That's what I feel is there's an underlying current of with her. It's like, you've already had all of this. You should be happy, and now you should go away. And you're still here. How dare you still be here?
Yeah.
I think I'm pulling something from Madonna's, playbook, which that's been her whole narrative the last couple of years. But I think there's something to that.
Yeah, it's and again, I can't say I'm a huge Jennifer Lopez fan. I'm the first one that sometimes I'm very critical about her work. But, again, you could be critical about her work and maybe not care for it too much, but I just see the inhumanity of how people la tienen cogida con ella. I mean, it's so bad that people online are saying that she can't dance. And it's like, you could say a lot of things about Jennifer Lopez, but now we're saying that she can't dance. Like, now we collectively are spreading the narrative that Jennifer Lopez can't dance. I mean, really, that's what this has gone down to, that now we're saying that
you can say she can't act. You can say she can't sing, but you can't say she can't dance. Right.
Exactly.
Right. I'm sorry.
You just like completely disvalidated and like
you've lost all
credibility in whatever your argument is to say that Jennifer Lopez can dance.
Yeah, and that's usually said by people who have two left feet to begin with.
Right. I think it's awful. And it's going to be one of those things that in 10 years they're going to be like, yeah, remember when the public was so bad to Jennifer Lopez, during such a hard time? We really learned from that. And it's going to be the same bullshit.
Fuck all.
The same bullshit. There's something the other day that I saw of her and Ben Affleck that I just thought it was so disturbing that we as a society accept that. There was paparazzi footage of them two in their car. They were not going to a public event. They were not on as celebrities. They were doing something private as two regular people, and the paparazzi filmed them. And somebody who reads lips, who I think she's deaf, and she gets a lot of celebrity videos, and she can read their lips, so she says what they're talking about. She was she was saying in her video that went viral what they were talking about, and clearly it was about one of their children. So they were having like a very personal, private conversation about their children, and here it was for the world to see. They were in their car, again, not in a public space, or going to a public event.
Right. They were having a private moment,
like
you have,
all of us have in our car, but no. And somehow people online want to justify that it's okay. So it's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And some people, they think they are justified in being mean to her. Yeah. Oh, because she stole Ashanti's vocals. Right. Yeah. Like 22 years ago, we had a whole conversation about this. But yeah, let's continue going with that. Yeah. So whatever. It's like, listen, if I'm going to steal vocals, they're not going to be from Ashanti. But then, go ahead. And I like Ashanti. Rock With You is a great song. Did I say something that wasn't true?
Oh, no, that's why I'm laughing as much as I'm laughing.
I mean, if I'm going to steal vocals, I'm going to steal from like
fucking Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, Brandy, Mariah Carey, these huge voices.
Yeah, if I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and no shade to Ashanti. I like many of Ashanti's songs, but I mean,
she's not who I think of when I think of like vocalists.
I love. There was a meme that went viral a few years ago. There was one of her and one of Drake.
Yes.
That it was like them like completely eating the mic, and it was like belting. What Ashanti song requires this type of vocal prowess?
saw that meme.
Cold without you. Now I'm hurting when I'm with you.
Oh, babe.
That's a great song. And though my heart can take no more, I keep on running back to you.
She's a pleasant voice, but it's nothing powerhousey.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hear that? That's the sound of time just passing by while you wait and wait to see your doctor for a medical appointment. Now hear that? That's the sound of you walking into Dr. Goodprice and being seen by a professional for that same medical consultation in about 30 minutes. And that's not even the best part. At Dr. Goodprice, a medical consultation is only $35. No insurance, no weird copays that never cover everything, just $35 and minimal wait time. If only keeping a cholesterol in check was this easy, huh? Medical care is important, but it shouldn't be at the cost of your time and money. Dr. Goodprice believes everyone should be able to get affordable medical care on your time. Visit drgoodprice.com today for more info and services.
So what else we have going on?
So I have two things, but I'm trying to pick which one to go first.
So what's going on now? I think of come on now, Backstreet's got it. Come on now, everybody, we got it going on for you. Okay, what are you saying?
So this week on Instagram, we've been part of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, and the guy who runs the whole shebang, Lee Schrager, we follow him on Instagram, and he posted a video which I actually thought was funny. Mm-hmm. It was a video that he posted. It was like it looked like a little baby pig who was being like, pampered, like given a massage and all the thing, and then like the camera, does one of those, like it zooms into something, and then when it zooms out, like it was like getting all pampered to become bacon, mm-hmm. right? It's funny. It's clearly a joke. No. They clearly didn't. I mean, I don't think they cooked that pig, mm-hmm. but it was a joke, right? Whatever. Well, about a day or so afterwards, he posted another thing with the words like apologizing for it. Apologizing for posting it because he didn't realize how many people were going to be upset by that post, and he's gotten so many DMs and so many things, and all I could think of was like, with everything happening in the world,
mm-hmm. This is what we're focusing.
This is what you're going to focus on, and I'm actually a little upset at him for posting that apology, mm-hmm. because I'm like, you shouldn't have, right?
You're giving power to
people who should not have it to begin with, and I, all I could think of was like, this is where we are now. This is where we are. Mm-hmm. We're like, I'm posting what is clearly a joke. Mm-hmm. It is clearly, and it's not vulgar. It's not, obscene. There's nothing violent about it.
Listen.
And yet people felt the need to make their voices heard about a fucking joke.
There is this video that went viral sometime last year that it breaks my heart. Like when I have it saved, actually. It's very touching. I believe it was in Brazil, and it was a little boy who he was probably 6 or 7 years old. The video starts with like a mom. You see, it's in a hospital. And the video starts with like a mom running down the hospital, in the hallway,
okay,
to her son's room. And then you see her going inside the room, and the camera follows. And her son, who's like 6, 7 years old, very small, and you could tell that he has health issues, mm-hmm. had woken up from a coma, and he was wanting his mom. And when she comes in, crying and running, because apparently she was somewhere else, and they told her your son woke up.
So boom,
and she ran to the hospital. You don't know if maybe she was having lunch in the hospital. You don't know if, she was taking a break. Maybe she wasn't. We don't know where she was. Right. The point was she wasn't in the room.
Okay.
And she comes running into the room, and he's like, Mama. It's very touching. And then she hugs him and whatever. The point of that video was to display the bond and connection between a child and its mother.
Right.
Right? And to show the humanity of it.
It's a feel-good video.
Right. You have to see the comments in that video. Oh, you're a terrible mother. You left him. Maybe she was in the bathroom.
I was going to say, maybe she went to pee, yeah.
Maybe she went to the cafeteria.
Right.
Right?
Gotta drink water.
Right? Oh, you're terrible. No mother leaves her son in the hospital like that. Why were you running back? I mean, it's like, wow. It's just, I mean, we talk about this all the time here on the show. And it's just, I feel that social media has just turned into, the comment sections of social media has turned into just a dumpster fire on all platforms, because we always would say, oh, Twitter, but on all platforms, it's just turned into, actually, where I think right now is like the safest place is Facebook.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because Facebook is filled with older people that just want to share pictures of their grandchildren, and and the same recycled meme.
Yeah.
And then for Mother's Day they send roses with little sparkly things on it, and for Valentine's Day little heart emojis. And if you notice on Facebook, people don't really respond; they just put emojis.
Yeah, they do a little laughy thing. Yeah.
But on all the main socials, it's just a dumpster fire. I mean, I say this all the time here. Most of the content that I look at on social media is cooking, food related. There is nothing more benign than food related. Terrible. There's this lady from one of the pages I follow is allrecipes.com, and there's this lady who does like a lot of recipes, and she'll do a little TikTok or reel on it. And a couple of months ago, she was saying, oh, I'm going to try out the viral recipe for a wet sauce, which basically a wet sauce, what she did is a form of chili oil to put on top of dumplings and things like that. So she shows how to do it. And she says it in the video, oh, I'm going to try doing the viral wet sauce. The comments were all like, oh, this is cultural appropriation. This is not Asian. A white woman doing Asian food. The wet sauce that she clearly said was viral, which on the description said it was viral and tagged the person who originally made that sauce, who is an Asian woman. Right? It's all on there. But people, of course, are not reading that.
Oh, fuck no.
But instead, it's like, oh, because this is cultural appropriation. Oh, white people trying to do, Asian food. And like, oh, how dare you, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, my God. 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 Oh, my God.
Here's my question for those people, though. Where does that end? Because does this mean that, like, if you're from Ireland, you can't make spaghetti?
None of that makes
I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm just saying, where does this end?
You can't have a rational conversation about that. Because,
no, not at all.
Again, when even simple recipe videos are turned into a dumpster fire of comments, it just, there's nowhere to go on social media where you can see content, see, good, lively comments, and enjoy the content and enjoy what people have to say about it. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, what the content is, whether it's food, renovations. I mean, I look at a lot of DIY stuff and home renovations, and it's the same thing. Oh, that's really tacky, and oh, why did you move that? And you know what? Sometimes like the author of the content will be like, why did you paint it that color? And they're like, because it's my damn house.
Good. Being a Mitchell.
So it's like, good for you for standing up to the horrible people in the comment sections.
Yeah, just don't go to the comment section. Like, honestly, there's no good there.
No.
There's no suggestions. Like, it's not like you're in the comment section and they're like, oh, I see that you used a 4-inch miter saw. Just FYI, a 3-inch might give you a better bevel, right? Like, no, that's not going to be in the comment section at all.
No, no.
Yeah,
miter saw. Well, good.
Listen, I know things.
Yeah, I have a miter saw.
You got the miter saw from our friend, right?
No, I bought the miter saw myself.
Okay. No, I thought it was from the fire sale of...
No, I have my tools.
Okay. Listen, I'm not saying it for any other reason other than this friend I'm talking about had the garage full of shit.
Have you ever used a saw?
Have a miter saw? Yeah.
Or any saw?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you saw something?
I used to help my dad build stuff at the house when I was growing up.
Shut up.
I did.
Using a saw is really powerful.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you haven't built anything. You just used to help your dad.
I helped build the bird cage that's in the backyard to this day.
Oh, shut up. La jaula esa.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Listen, that required chicken wire.
Chicken wire. Do people still sell chicken wire?
I mean, I guess
I don't think chicken wire is as popular as it used to be.
Well, I mean, they're still chickens.
But do they use chicken wire, or do they use some type of commercial grade, fencing?
No, to make like a chicken coop, you use chicken wire.
Right. And to make a modern day chicken coop, they use some type of biodegradable, less carbon footprint?
I don't think so.
Commercial grade. You don't know.
I think the carbon footprint is still the same.
No, it could be silicone.
No, because
It's pretty badass.
wire.
Silicone ice trays.
Oh, those are great.
It's sort of cathartic to like push out, pop out the ice.
Oh yeah, that's the ones that I use for my whiskey. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, because you get like the nice big ass block and then you just flip it inside out.
Okay, for us mere mortals.
What is mere mortal or godlike about
Okay,
whiskey?
what else do you have? Go.
No, don't just because you don't want to talk about whiskey. So I've been thinking about something lately, and
I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about who sings that? Shaba.
oh god, wait. I must have been stone crazy. It's not gonna help me figure it out. I'm
What
just buying
can
time.
I do? I've been thinking
It's not-
about you.
no, it's not-
London Beat. Who sings "What Is Love"?
That's
Baby?
Hathaway.
Yes.
Okay.
Who sings "Take Me"? Take me.
Lil
in
Suzy.
Yes.
These are all unrelated, but this is great. When you initially said, I was like, I know it's not Terrence Trent D'Arby, but for some reason, like the consonants just kept going in my head.
What does Terrence Trent D'Arby sing?
Is he wishing well?
Yes. And sign your name across my heart. I want you to be my lady. Who sings? 'Cause now you giving me nothing but a shattered dreams. With from you a guy can run
Oh
away.
God, that I don't know.
Johnny Hates Jazz.
Okay, it's funny you say that because in my mind I'm like, was not was, but that's Walk the Dinosaur.
Oh my God, actually, I have a really funny story. The other day, I don't know why this came on in my radio because I don't particularly care about this song, but I was taking Tristan to school and She Blinded Me with Science came out.
Okay.
And I don't really care for that song, but I do like when they go science.
Well, yeah, it's the best part of the song.
He was like, why are they talking about science?
It was the 80s.
I was like, I don't even know how to begin to explain this.
Because that song didn't come out for Weird Science.
She blinded me with science. She blinded me with science. It's poetry in motion. That song is not good
At all.
There's some of those early 80s songs that people are so like nostalgic about. Like, oh my God, I remember this song. And it's like, yeah, I do remember that song. That song was not good.
No. It was not good. It was so not good that they didn't use it in Weird Science.
God, the other day you would have so enjoyed this because you loved my parental commentary.
Yes.
And I was watching I was like watching music videos, right, on YouTube in the living room.
Okay.
And my parents come over and I was playing Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Okay.
By Tears for Fears. That's such a great song.
Yeah.
Now that is a good song.
Right.
And I had the video on. Welcome to your life.
Okay.
So I was watching the video. My parents were there watching the video. My mom knew the song. She's like, ay, qué linda esa canción. Ay, yo me acuerdo cuando tu y tu hermano eran niños. Ay, qué linda. But then, you know how YouTube like has the automatic play?
Yes.
The next video it played was Tears for Fears, like I think last year, singing that song.
Okay.
40 years later. So, now they're in their like late 60s. They're like, ellos son los mismos. And I'm like, sí. My mom's like, ay, parece que le pasó un tren por arriba. And she's like, ay, y él con todas esas caras. Ay, pero están de madre. Mira que da vejez. No le perdona a nadie. And they just started having this whole commentary about
Tears for Fears.
Actual day Tears for Fears. And I was like, actually, I don't think they look that bad for their late 70s. And especially having been rock stars in the 80s. Right.
Right. But I think it's
Not everybody can be Bon Jovi.
This is true, and even he's starting to look old now.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a while.
Yeah, it took a while.
But time caught up with him. But I think also the juxtaposition was that they literally went from seeing them so young
Right.
to so old.
Right.
In the blink of an eye. There was no in between.
Actually, that day I started playing them old songs from the 80s, and actually that day would have been a day that you would have really enjoyed because my mom was in her prime. Ooh. And listeners, my mom gives very colorful commentary. My mom then started saying, ay, yo me acuerdo que había un video que tú y tu hermano veían, que a mí no me gustaba que tú lo vieras porque yo no sé si era un hombre o una mujer que tenía mucho pelo y eran unos locos y ellos iban y convertían la gente en locos como ellos. And when she said that, I was like, I know what you're talking about.
What video is it?
So I put the video of Twisted Sister.
I love that she's like, no sé si era hombre o mujer.
And she's like, este es el video, que están unos locos, mira con toda esa pelambre. And then, if you remember in the video, the band members they sort of look normal and everyday.
Yes.
And then when, what's his name?
Dee Snider.
Would get to them, they turned into their Twisted Sister character. And I remember there was one that was even hiding under a desk. And my mom remembered that video.
Wow. Neri has a good memory.
She was on a roll because I was playing, again, all these old music videos. And she's always like, qué linda era esa canción. I love how my father, like everybody, parents in the 80s, my father now has completely changed his tune on Prince. Because my brother was really into Prince.
Right.
And my brother was into Prince because my brother's older than me, was into early Prince. That he was even raunchier.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, before he became born again.
Yeah. But even by the time he did Purple Rain was such a commercial record that his image, I mean, it was still sexy.
Yeah.
But his first 3 albums, he was super raunchy. He used to perform in a thong.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They have a picture of that at the Grammy Museum.
And my brother was really into that. And I remember my father, I'll never forget my father ripped off a Prince poster from the wall that my brother had. I think it was for actually I know exactly what it was. The album 1999 had a fold out of Prince on a bed, and he was painting with watercolors, and you could see his ass. And my brother put it on the wall, and my father took it down. My father was really against the whole Prince of it all. Right. And now my father's like, ay, no, pero él no era tan controversial. No como lo de ahora. And I'm like, Dad, Prince, even in the lens of 2024, was still pretty controversial.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, all things considered. I mean, darling Nikki.
I met her in a hotel lobby masturbating in a magazine. I mean...
Yeah.
Come on. You know what's...
Look, people forget.
Important about that song, right? Because of Darling Nikki, Tipper Gore heard that song. Al Gore's wife. I think Al Gore in the 80s was a senator or something.
Yeah.
She heard that song. And she made a big fuss about it, and she started this whole coalition about it. And thanks to that, we have the parental advisory sticker.
I thought it was because of Two Life Crew.
No. Two Life Crew was banned.
Oh, for some reason, I thought she made a big stink about Two Life Crew.
Well, she probably did. But it was Darling Nikki on the Purple Rain soundtrack that we got the parental advisory sticker on record on.
Does that still exist?
I don't...
Because everything is...
I think so, insofar that a lot of records are released clean version and not clean version.
Okay, and you'll have the E or something,
right? Oh, so annoying when I'm listening to Apple Music and on streaming and I get the freaking clean version. It's no.
What does the clean version of Darling Nikki even sound like?
What does a clean version of the Weeknd songs of his first several albums that it was all about sex and drugs sound
it's just silence, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It might as well be Muzak.
Yeah. I've said it many times. I love me Abel, but I like Abel when he used to sing about like drugs, sex, and destroying things, like and being miserable.
I mean, who amongst us?
Yeah. His first few records, he was super toxic AF. Those are the ones I love.
That's what you love. Bring me the toxicity.
For him? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even though my favorite record of him is probably his last record as a whole, as a project. As an album. But his first, because whatever, he had a different trajectory. He had like mixtapes and before he had a full-length album. Right. Those first few mixtapes and even first few albums, it was like toxicity and like not good stuff going on.
Or was it great stuff going on?
Now it's great stuff going on.
Was it great stuff? You don't know.
It's so good, though.
He was having a good time.
He has this song, Wicked Games, and he's like, bring your love, baby, I can bring you pain. He goes, bring the drugs, baby, I will bring my pain. Bring your body, baby, I will bring you shame. Like, it's so good. That
sounds hot.
So good. So good. Anyway.
It's June, which means end of school, start of summer, and National Dairy Month. You know we love dairy. Milk, cheese, ice cream, shakes, all of it. But did you know dairy is a great source of nutrients for our bodies? There's calcium, great for bones, vitamin D, which so many of us are lacking, plus potassium, protein, B12. Honestly, dairy's got more vitamins than I can list in this spot. So this June, visit floridamilk.com or lechedeflorida.com for info on all the benefits of dairy and several delicious recipes to make every month National Dairy Month.
Is it time for a last soda?
It is, except for the month of June.
Oh, yes.
We are partnering with our friends at Florida Dairy Farms. So it's going to be a last milkshake. And every week, we're actually going to highlight a different milkshake. So this week, we are not just giving out a last milkshake. We are giving out a last strawberry shortcake milkshake.
One of my favorites.
I mean, you can't go wrong. And these recipes are available online. We have the links in our show notes. So, listeners, you can go ahead and find it there.
You know how we were saying that we need more jingles? We need more milkshakes.
We do. And they do bring all the boys to the yard.
They bring everybody to the yard. Everybody loves a milkshake.
They do, especially during National Dairy Month.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to give my strawberry shortcake milkshake to somebody who's very unusual.
Oh, okay. But she probably still enjoys a strawberry milkshake. So
I'm actually going to give my last milkshake this week to Cyndi Lauper.
Yes.
I was telling you before we started recording that Cyndi Lauper is going on her farewell tour. And I'm like, I can't say I'm the biggest Cyndi Lauper fan. If I'm being really honest, there's only like maybe 3 Cyndi Lauper songs that I really like that I'll listen to. Right? And Girls Just Want to Have Fun is not one of them. But I think that Cyndi Lauper is the definition of iconic.
Absolutely.
She so represented a time, a movement, an image. A lot of people don't realize she came out actually before Madonna. Her and Madonna were rivals, but she actually came out a little bit before Madonna. And, again, I don't care for the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I think it's kind of cheesy now. But I watched that video and I'm like, oh my God, I remember being 4 or 5 years old and watching this. And, the little bubbles, thinking the little bubbles were cool. And this guy that was a wrestler, I'm like, oh my God, yes. And like so many scenes in that video, I'm like, I remember watching this as a kid and this being such a deal, because I remember that song was very popular, that it's like she's going on a farewell tour. And I'm like, again, I can't say I've been the biggest fan of hers. And I can't say that I'm crazy about her music, but I know she represents something, and I know that she has done a lot. And it's an era of somebody who's very relevant. And even though she hasn't had a huge radio hits in years, Cyndi Lauper has still been there.
Yeah, she's never gone away,
right? In one way or another, and. Good for her. I mean, she's, I think, in her late 60s. So, yeah, retire, enjoy your life. But it's like, wow, when I read that, I'm like, I would totally go to her concert. Because I understand what that means. And, she was at the beginning of her career when I was a little kid. And now, I'm older and like she's, it ran its course. And it's like, good for her. She had a long run.
Absolutely.
So
Longevity.
Cyndi Lauper gets a milkshake.
Absolutely. Having seen her when she opened on one of Cher's 85 farewell tours, she's very good live.
Yeah.
Very good live, because people don't realize, Cyndi Lauper, when people think of Cyndi Lauper, they do think of the girls want to have fun like that. She's actually a very good singer. Like she's trained, like, and she plays I don't know how many instruments, and she's a definition of a musician.
Right.
So I'm sure that it's going to be a hell of a show.
And I love that song "Who Let in the Rain," which nobody knows that song.
That's a good song.
That's like
That's a very good song.
that is a good song.
Yeah.
I love "I Drove All Night." That was a good song.
And now I'm thinking of Roy Orbison.
But not Celine Dion.
No. Nope.
Time After Time obviously is a good song. True Colors reminds me of being in line at the Universe of Energy. No, was it Universe of Energy? There was a ride in Epcot that the sponsor was Kodak.
Yep.
And when you would wait, they would play True Colors.
Yep.
And they had a whole video montage. And this went on for a while. This was like not in the 80s. This was like, I think, in through the 2000s. Hey, that's a nice song.
That is a pretty song. I
don't like the Goonies song.
I like She Bop.
Well, we know what that's about.
Yeah, speaking of Darling Nikki, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
So a milkshake for Cyndi Lauper.
Yes. So I'm actually going to follow your lead in terms of like the music route.
Yes.
I'm going to give my last milkshake to somebody who we love on this podcast a lot. Recently, I think it was actually last week, but obviously because we were doing the 300th episode, didn't have a chance to do it. Celia Cruz released a new album.
Yes.
It's called Celia Cruz en Vivo 100 Años de Azúcar, and it's commemorating what would have been her 100th birthday, her 100th year on the planet. And it takes a bunch of recordings from some live recordings from Miami sessions from 1986 and 1987. And they're like unedited. It's very like raw and live. And I love the fact that this woman has been gone now for
20 years.
21 years. And we are still finding new ways to celebrate her. And it should be. Like, she should continue to be celebrated. And this was the packaging of this. I don't know if you've seen it. It's actually gorgeous. So you know what? I'm going to keep it plain and simple, but you know what? Celia Cruz, look, she would have enjoyed a strawberry shortcake milkshake.
Yeah, con azúcar.
I was going to say, as much as she loves azúcar, a little extra, dessert. But so I'm going to give it to Celia en Vivo 100 Años de Azúcar.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we have said this 100 times on the podcast, but it's very true. We're not kidding. We say that, we used to talk about this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
About like the day she passed away, what it was going to mean. Like, and it was really random because like there was a lot of older people that were like very iconic, but we would always, I mean, I remember being in like middle school and telling you like, can you imagine the day Celia Cruz dies? Like, the world is going to stop.
It was the beginning of us being able to foretell things.
Yeah, like the world is going to stop. And I was like a teenager.
What the hell did we know?
What did I know? What be thinking about that? But I think that, you just, one can pick up on the sense that even though there were a lot of very famous people and a lot of people that had great careers and everybody knew and were household names, she felt different.
Yeah.
It was different. It felt different. It felt special. It felt familiar. It just felt different. You didn't even realize it felt different. Right. So I think that's why, I'm sure we were not the only ones who thought that. We just vocalized it. That's why a lot of people probably felt that way, and why she did end up getting the services and funeral that she got because she was so beloved.
Yeah, she's still getting her flowers.
Yeah, because there were so many people that have passed away that people loved that were very popular. Get their flowers and get their recognition, but the Celia Cruz of it all was just that was
next level.
Yeah, because we often obviously we went to her services here in Miami. And it was like 100,000 people.
Cuidado.
But then the one in New York was like, they shut down Fifth Avenue. Yeah. And it was in St. Patrick's, I believe.
I don't remember.
I mean, I don't think presidents get that,
Right.
amount of recognition. So anyway, well, those were good ones.
Yes.
Cindy and Celia.
Yes, we were feeling alliterative today.
Uno batido.
Yes.
I can totally go for a milkshake right now.
Well,
anyway, everybody.
it's still early enough. We can grab one.
We hope you listened, laughed, and learned. As always, remember to grab your cafecito, your croqueta, y su batido.
There you go.
And have a great weekend, everybody. See you next time around for 302. Now it's easy. Now the first couple of weeks will be like 302.
Yeah, I feel like you
Once we get to the 320 somethings, that's when I'll lose track. So have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye. Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.